Hey, what's up? It's your boy Isaac Saiz, Elijah Hardock, coming to you with another episode of Get Con, where we try to con you into some change, not out of some change. We're down here in the gym tonight, man, with our boy. Yeah, we're down here with bro, man. Got a heavy heart tonight, and he wanted to talk a little bit about grief and about what he's been going through. So we're gonna give the mic to him and let him express his heart to you guys, man. There's some things he wants to get off his chest, some things he wants to put out there for people to hear. So here goes brother right here, Keith Bursheim.
Hey, what's up? It's Keith Bursheim. I just want to give a shout out to my sons first and foremost. To give a shout out to baby Keith, baby JJ. Hey, daddy loves you. I miss you. Can't wait to be with you guys. I just want to give a shout out to my mom. I love you, moms. Thanks for being my rock, being my mom and my dad. You know, tonight I just wanted to share a little story about what I've been going through in this grief I've been going through for quite some time now. Since about 2012 probably is when I first started going through some things as a youngster. I first started out. I had lost a cousin that was like a brother to me. I just want to first I just want to give a shout out to all my brothers that had passed away that I'm grieving about. You know, I want to start out with Jared Goodsell. You know, to start out with him in 2012, followed up by my uncle Raymond, which was a father figure to me, and back in 2013, and then followed up by my other cousin Jace Goodsell, and then followed up by my brother Kenneth Dwayne Bursheim. You know, I just want to give a shout out. Here's a little hardship song. Ay ya ro ha ya ay ya ha ya oh hey oh we ay ya na ay ya yo hey oh hey oh tie wo kie lo yo哎呀爹，我给了哟，马个给谁了哟？哎呦爹，我给了，哎呀喽哈呀哎哟哟，哎呀喽哈哟哦喂哦嗨哟喂哦。哎呦呀哎呦喽，哎呀呀哎呦喂哦哎哎呦哎呀爹我给了哟，哎呀爹我给了哟，马个给谁了哟？哎呦天，我给喽，哎呦！ That's it's one of a hardship song that goes out to my brothers out there that I've lost. Also, just want to give a shout out to Jason Garrow, who just lost bro back in March. Along with Uncle Robbie Reddearth. So I feel like my story could help anybody out there that's going through some things. Right now I'm in a place where, you know, you got to be strong, you got to be tough, and I am unable to. I'm stuck in the middle of wanting to change and be different, but I'm in such a negative place where everything around me is negative, you know, and you got to be strong, you know. I grew up without a father. I had father figures in my life, but growing up without a father, I just had a mom. So my mom has been my rock all my life. She's been my mom, my dad, and my homegirl. You know, so sometimes she gets a little mad about the way I talk with her, but I had to remind her that she's my rock and stuff. And the stress and stuff I've been going through is it has a lot to do with grief and of loss of loved ones that I have lost. I feel like I get close to somebody, and God decides to take them away. You know, so right now it's a little hard to love or to fall in love with somebody because I'm so scared that God will take them away. and um, it all started out when I was about 14, maybe 15 years old. Um, and 2012 when I lost my cousin Jared, we were all hanging out. Me and my cousin Balin, and we all hung out and we all did some things together. We all had some fun, out there. Even though it wasn't may not been positive things, we all got close and we did some things that got us close. And when we lost him to a tragic car accident, I had gotten close with his brother, which is my brother Jace, and um, watching him go through grief, trying to be there for him, he's always, was always quick to be sad when we'd be out, being out, supposed to be out having fun, and he would always be sad or saying prayers that I'd get mad about, and saying he wanted to be with his brother, and eventually life had came around and had took my brother as well, took my cousin as well, and my brother had got out of prison, and I watched him go through the same thing because he looked at them as all his brothers, so I watched my own brother, my big brother, cry and be sad about being alone out there, and life had taken its play, and it had taken my brother next, and in the meantime I'm using drugs to mask my feelings, so I have never really dealt with the first loss of the loved one, and then losing everybody else, continuing to use drugs and medicate myself through addiction and thinking that was working, and I find myself in a real tough place today, for the last 4 months here, maybe 6 months, I've been going through a really hard time, and not really having nobody to talk to. Well, there's about 400, 500 inmates here, but I could be filled with a room full of people, and yet feel like I'm alone or like I'm by myself, and I still have yet to figure out why I feel like that or why what makes me to feel that way because I had gotten out in 2023. I had gotten out for 87 days, and with that I had made it 87 days, had another baby, and found myself back into this place in the same position, because there I was at home, went to a loving home where my family had loved me, my mom, my mom's husband, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews, all of them. They were all there. They all showed me love, but there I was sitting in our living room still feeling the same loneliness that I had been feeling for all these years. And not really being blind to them, there I went back to addiction. So my time of being out only lasted 87 days, and I'm finally, lost a bro here in prison, lost a good friend that I have known for 9 years that I consider one of my brothers, Jason Girl, and it brought back the real feelings of why I feel alone and having love for somebody. Um, it just all falls under the long of being sad and lonely and not really having nobody, but yet you have all these loving people behind you. It's just hard for me to grasp of what I'm trying to do with my life in this system here. I've been trying to do everything I can to better myself in many different ways, but it's just like this place where I'm at, it puts me in the dead center of every negative thing that could possibly be going on here, and it keeps testing me like that. So I've been dealing with this grief pretty hard for the last 6 months now, and it's lonely, and I feel like when I talk to my family members, they they don't want to be worried about me and be stressed out about me, so they're not really giving me back no feedback. They're just kind of just really not answering the phone or just kind of leaving me high and dry. Well, you know, I've been working on myself, and it took me a lot to really actually speak about what I feel because I grew up with just a mom, like I said, and growing up with just a mom figure, like I always wanted to be tough for her. Like no matter what we went through in life, I always held back everything I've ever felt. and I think that's another issue too that I got. And so I've been doing these sweats here. I work at the sweat lodge, and I go to sweat 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. And every day it's been making it a little easier being able to get in there and pray to God and let him know what I'm going through, and I'm trying to give it all to him. Finally, I'm finally facing it head on. You know, facing my problems head on instead of running it or trying to self-medicate. And I just want people to know, like, you ain't alone. Like, even though I could sit here and tell you guys how alone I am and how I feel alone, I know that I ain't alone because as I sat here, like for the last month, I've been finally just opening up slowly, getting the courage to stand up and talk, or getting the courage to open up to brothers in here, alone, and just to find out there's many others that feel the same way as I feel, but probably think the same way as I thought about showing my feelings, or didn't want to show, or didn't want to try to deal with them because it's a lot. It's a lot to take, and now I know what I need to work on and what I need to do. So my message here is just to let people know, like, you're not alone out there. Like, even though I'm in here and I can't write you, or I can't talk to you, or I can't see you, like any one of you guys can write and can tell me how you're feeling, and I'm gonna write back and be there. And I'm asking for the same in return as well, because I sit here and I go through the things I'm going through, but I don't have no one to turn to, and it's hard to turn to another man, especially another man in prison, where you have to be strong, where you can't show weakness and you can't show certain feelings because you don't want nobody to think of you any different. You know what I mean? And there was an old school cat that told me that you know, warrior, warriors used to cry too, and that made me really open my eyes to what I need to do and what I need to work on, and it all starts with this grief that I'm carrying on, this self guilt of why my brothers had passed away, why my cousins had passed away, and it's a work in progress. I'm still working on it, and I just felt like I need to let my story be known so people could hear it, or so people know out there that they're not alone and that there's other people that feel that same way. And and maybe we could all connect and tell each other's stories, or maybe this will encourage you to tell your loved ones, the people that you love or that are around you, because it's a hard place, and I had been going through it for 6 months now, and I sit here and I think about it, and and like I said, this last month has been the month where I actually started talking about it and bringing it out, and finally getting to see all my brothers in here, all these inmates sitting here saying, "Hey, bro, let it out. It's okay. It's okay to cry, or it's okay to open up to tell us what you're going through." All my life I thought I had to, as a man, you had to hold that stuff in, that you can't show no feelings, you can't feel nothing, So all this time I've been building up all these feelings and all this stuff, and now I'm finally like a bottle, and it's just finally overflowing, breaking open on its own, and here I am expressing, So I just give a shout out to everybody that is going through mental illness like me, and that you ain't alone, and if you don't have nobody to talk to, it's as simple as writing me a letter, and I will conversate back, because I know what the feeling is, and how it affects you, and what decisions it can make you throughout your life. I got two beautiful kids out there, and here I am in here saying I would never be the dad I never had, you know, but here I am being just that guy, not there for them, not being able to provide for them, and it's heartbreaking, because they deserve a chance and they deserve a father, and I deserve a chance to become better, to feel better, and I never thought I had that chance, or I never thought that it was possible, you know. So I wanted just to give this story out to everybody to let you know, like you're not alone, and it's okay to talk about how you're feeling or what you're going through, you know. Um, there's many kinds of different griefs. I have been reading up on it. There's many different kinds of griefs. You know, you could be grieving somebody that had left you in a relationship. You could be grieving somebody that had passed on. There's so many different griefs that people had going through that I had never even known, and I thought drugs was the key, you know, of all that. Finally, I'm exploding, and here I am, you know. So I just want to give you that much, and just let you guys know, like, I'm here at the South Dakota State Prison. You know, the address is P.O. Box 5911, Sioux Falls, South Dakota 57104. You know, inmate number 46656. Um, don't feel free to either help me on my journey, or if you need help on your journey, I'm willing to be your shoulder or be your hand to help you get through what you're going through, or to just be there to listen to what you're going through. You know, I know all my brothers are out there watching over me. You know, I've tried to, tried to go see them many different times in many different ways, but for the grace of God, I'm still here on this earth today, you know, and I'm thankful because I got kids now that I want to try to teach to be better than what I am. I got two little brothers that I want to be better than their big brothers were, you know, my other brothers, you know. I also just left out, you know, my nephew JB, Jared Goodsell Jr., and I left out my other brother Julian John Bursheim. You know, shout out to you boys. Before this song, before we end here, I just want to sing this last song for you brothers. You know, I want to send my voice up to you. This song was made by another good brother in here named Charles Birdshead. It's just saying that we're sending our voice to you. All right. Ai ya ra e we yo ai ya ra we ai ya ra e we yo ai ya ra we hai yo we ai ma ka se to ne we ho ye wa ye lo yo chan o po ki le yo ha no one hai we ai wa ma ya ka yo oh ye wa ye lo hai oi ma ka se to
You have 1 minute remaining.
ho ye wa ye lo oi cha no po ki le yo ha na wa ye lo hai ya we ai wa ma ya ka yo ho ye wa ye lo hai
All right, y'all, man. That was bro. Appreciate everybody. We got to get off here. We're signing off. You know how the time limit is and stuff, man. But like, share, subscribe. We out.